Do you guys also feel the same while doing your writing task 1 that the content you are presenting is quite repetitive in nature? You are not able to write different kind of phrases or different kind of correct words that will take you to a higher band in your writing task 1. Is it? Then don't worry. I have a key for that. I am Ritika from IELTSmaterial.com, and in my today's video, I'm going to provide you some excellent phrases and vocabulary that will help you to provide variation in your writing task 1 and definitely will take you to a higher band. Let's get started. Okay, so first let us start with the data which is given in the form of percentage. If you will see this pie chart, here it is given 50%. Then don't write it just 50%. Write it as exactly a half, which also means 50%. In the same way, if you get 25%, then don't write 25%. Rather say quarter or 1/4. Now these kind of phrases will help you to express your data, your content in writing task 1 in the most impressive way and of course the higher band. Now what if your data is not given exact 50% or 25%, then what you will do in those cases? See, if your data is slightly above than 50%, say in the range of 51 to 55%, then you can say just over half, slightly more than half. In the same way, if it is just below 50%, say ranging between 45 to 49%, then you can say under a half, around a half. Now, if you are having data like 24%, then in place of 24%, you can say it is almost a quarter. In the same way, 26%, roughly 1/4. See, what you can do is when you are writing the data like this, just over half, make sure in bracket you are providing the exact percentage also, whether it is 51% or 52% or 53%. Right. In the same way, if you are writing almost a quarter, then in bracket you can display 24% just to provide the exact data. Now moving further, I have some more variations for you. See, if the proportion is given as 75%, then avoid using 75%. You can say 75% as 3/4. Okay, now 22%. This we have done previously as well. It will call as slightly less than a quarter. Now, what if the data is quite negligible? Say 3%, then you can write it as a tiny fraction. Now, let us have a look between the ranges. Say the data is in between 70 to 74%. Then we can write it as a large proportion, a significant majority, or nearly 3/4. Now, if it is 77%, then you can say approximately 3/4, slightly more than 3/4. If the data is a bit higher, around 80 to 85, then what you can say? Well over 3/4. Try using these kind of phrases while doing your writing task 1 and see the difference, that how beautifully you can present your data if you are using these phrases. Have a look on this table. This table will provide you some words and phrases that will help you to avoid the overusage of words such as approximate, more, or less. If you want to express the data or the figures in the approximate range, no exact data is given, then you can use the words like roughly, of course, approximately, almost, nearly, about, around. Now, if a data is given more than, then instead of writing more again and again, you can say, of course, the very first is more than. Then you can also describe it as well over, just over. Sometimes you can write it as just above, a large proportion, a little more than, and a significant majority. On contrary, if the data is less, then in place of more than, you can say less than. In place of well over or just over, it will be well below, just below. Same goes with just above. In the case of less, it will just under. Instead of a large proportion, you can say a small proportion. Instead of a little more than, you can say slightly less than. In place of a significant majority, you can use an insignificant minority. Let us now move on to different trends that we get in case of line graphs, bar graphs, even in tables. We often get the trends like increasing trends, decreasing trends, or when there are no changes. And if you are getting in a line graph increasing trend thrice, so what you are going to do? Are you going to write increase 3 times? No. Come up with the variation. I'll give you different work forms as you can see on the screen, and these work forms will help you to again provide that variation that is required. Now look at this line graph. In year 1 it is 73. From year 1 to year 2 it remained 40. So it declined, right? Instead of writing decrease again and again, if you are getting the same trend twice or thrice, use the words like decline, plummet, plunge, drop, reduce, dip, slump, slide, go into free fall. Make sure to change the tenses as per the requirement. Now, if you will see from year 2 to year 3, it remained same. So, in case when the data is steady, you can use the words like level out, remain constant, remain steady, it reached up to a plateau, remain the same, remain stable, remain static. In the same way, see from the year 3 to 4, 40 to 100, it increased. What verb forms you can use for increase? Rise, of course, increase, rocketed, climb, upsurge, soar, jump, leap, skyrocket, surge. See, wide variety of word forms. If you will use these kind of words, definitely it will improvise your content, and of course you will get your desired band. Now let us move further and see types of changes. Whatever the trends we learned previously, now we'll go a step ahead and we will see what type of changes occurs in those trends. Sometimes there are rapid changes, sometimes the changes are quite moderate, sometimes they are steady, or sometimes a slight change. Now let us understand the same with the help of this line graph. See, from year 1 to year 10, data of 10 years is given here. In year 1, it is 40. If you will see, in year 2, it is 75. Now, what type of change is it? Would you call it a moderate change, a steady change, or a slight change? No, it's a rapid change. A huge proportion has increased, isn't it? So the words that you can use here is it increased dramatically, it surged rapidly, upsurged sharply, significantly, considerably, substantially, noticeably. So with the trend, also mention the type of change. Now moving further from year 2 to year 3, what kind of change would you call it? It's a slight change, of course, from 75 to 70, and it is a decrease. So you can say declined slightly, plunged slowly, plummeted mildly, decreased or dipped or dropped tediously. Right? Now see, from year 3 to year 7. A steady change is there, isn't it? So what you can say, it here it is increased. So you can say it increased steadily or increased ceaselessly. Now look at year 8. From 7 to 8, it decreased. Now what kind of decrease it is? Is it moderate or slight decrease? No, it's a rapid change. So again the words, it decreased or it declined or dropped substantially, significantly, considerably, any word that you can use, right? Now look onto the examples. The very first sentence, there was a substantial increase in the value of stocks on 15th March. What does it mean? That it was a considerable increase, right? So how you can replace substantial increase if we need to? Can we say it soared substantially? It rose substantially? It rose significantly? Yes? Now, the second example. House prices rose dramatically in July. Again, a rapid change, a huge change happened here. Instead of rose dramatically, let us try to find another word that we have learned. Can we say skyrocketed? House prices skyrocketed in July, isn't it? Now, the number of students studying economics rose gradually from 2001 to 2010. Rose gradually means a slight increase, a moderate increase happened here. So you can say it increased gradually, moderately, progressively. You can use any of the word. Now the next example, there was a sharp increase in employee turnover after the strike. Again, a considerable increase. Now the next example is, interest in environmental issues have risen steadily over the last 10 years. When we are saying risen steadily, then what you can say, it is increasing ceaselessly. So it have risen ceaselessly. Look at the last example here. The proportion of biofuels used in Germany in 2009 rose marginally from 30 to 32%. Now this is a new word came here, marginally. Whenever you are seeing such a slight difference, then you can use the word marginally. I hope you people are clear with the vocabulary that we have learned so far. Now, just to have a quick recapitulation of the same, I have a worksheet for you which is there on the screen. What you need to do here is, there are pie charts given and on the other side there is a report where there are some blanks. Now what you people need to do is, you will complete this report with the words that we have learned. After completing the worksheet, don't forget to share your answers with us in the comment box. I hope you find this video helpful. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share our channel in order to get such worthy content. Also, now you can follow us on Instagram. The link is there on the screen. If you want to know more details about the comprehensive courses that we offer at IELTS Material, do check our description box. Thank you.